We begin with a story that started with hate but turned to hope, a journey that reminds us that the human spirit is good. It's one of the darkest days in Wisconsin history.
Calling from 7512 South Avenue. There is shooting.
August 5th, 2012.
Did you see the shooter?
6 people gunned down at the Sikh Temple of Wisconsin in Oak Creek.
Then a bald-head man, bigger build.
The gunman, a white supremacist. He was a member of a hate group started by this man,
We must secure the existence of our race.
Arno Michaelis. One of the victims was Pardeep Kalika's father,
Slowed the shooter down enough so other people could get to safety.
Sedan Singh Kalika, who founded the temple.
The last day that I saw my father was my birthday. And even at that time, he was 65 years old. I was 35 years old.
Out of the story of hate, a tale of love and brotherhood between 2 unlikely friends.
You want to split a squash curry?
Yeah, let's do that. We met here. We met in person.
This is your first place you met.
It was the first place that we actually
We were sitting right there.
We return to their original meeting place, Isan, a Thai restaurant on Milwaukee's east side. Kalika contacted Michaelis wanting insight into hate. Kalika admits he almost bailed.
And as I'm watching him walk in, I'm really I'm going back and forth. I could just leave. Something just told me at the time, you came here for a reason. You went this far, now keep going forward.
Kalika did move forward. Today, the 2 are close friends and have formed a deep bond.
It was the first time that we stayed together in the same hotel room.
You thought I was going to kill him in his sleep.
Once we sat down and we talked and we realized, man, this is my long lost brother. And we're like family now.
When the shootings happened, Michaelis had already left the hate group, making it easier for the 2 to connect and share family history.
My favorite is what your dad said when he cut his thumb off in the tractor.
Oh yeah,
What did he say?
Koi buddy gal nahi hai. He's fixing a tractor, and on the motor part, it just cut his thumb off, and it was almost like amputated the top of it. And then so he had to go back to work. He just ties it back up, and he's like, "Koi buddy gal nahi hai," which means it's no big deal.
A fitting memory for a man who died a hero, saving members of his own congregation. Michaelis admits he was an angry youth and found connection in a group that embraced chaos, violence, and hate. Today, he's a Buddhist promoting peace.
I think a very succinct definition of hate is a willful denial of compassion. There's a guy I helped to get out of the Ku Klux Klan named Chris Buckley, who had the most vicious hatred of Islam I've ever seen in my life.
Michaelis believes trauma is the basis for most hate.
The simple answer is just suffering. Fortunately, most of us have a healthy way to process the suffering that we go through in life. If you don't have a healthy way, though, there's all sorts of unhealthy ways to process suffering. And violent extremism is that ideology, and the people who are stricken by it is an example of an unhealthy way that's like actively reaching out to people who are suffering.
The 2 formed an organization called Serve to Unite. They co-wrote this book, The Gift of Our Wounds. They travel around the country promoting a message of unity.
When the shooting itself happened, it wasn't that we were anything special, but I think we both had that common mission of let's not have people lose hope and faith in humanity because of what this person did.
I think, honestly, the greatest gift we can give to people that we love is our genuine happiness. Somebody who's going to walk into a place like that and just start murdering people has plainly lost their faith in humanity, and they want to destroy everyone else's faith in humanity as well.
Yep.
So the first step in countering that is to refuse to give up that faith in humanity.
Pardeep admits it took a while to deal with the raw emotions after his father was killed.
I think I was saying all the right things about compassion and forgiveness and love because I had a communal commitment, a responsibility to say we need to say the right things for the world, because at the end of the day, I can't let this hate crime be the lasting message. But internally, you're struggling. Internally, you're bitter. And you need to be lovingly challenged out of a place of bitterness.
At the helm of their message, nonviolence.
It's easy to be aggressive. It's easy to respond to aggression with aggression. If you really want to challenge yourself, if you really want to show me how bad you are, respond to aggression with compassion. And if you don't believe it's hard, try it sometime.
Today, 2 men who could have become bitter enemies lead with love and humanity.
For me, just with my messed up personality, I almost do that from a place of spite. my faith is very genuine, and it's like it does come from a place of inner peace. But when it flares up like this, I'm like, I'll be damned if I'm going to let you shake my faith in humanity. You will never do that to me. You never break me.
The spiritual challenge that we face right now is how do we treat the ones that don't look like us, don't walk like us, don't talk like us, don't pray in the same places as us. And if my children can say, my dad created a better world for all of God's children, then I've lived a life worth living.
That says it all. Now, I read this book and I honestly had a hard time putting it down. It is funny, irreverent, sad, and happy, but at the end, you will feel hopeful.